Alright guys, we have a 2015 Transit T250 here. This has a ton of ABS lights on for the rear of the vehicle. It says rear. And I already know what's wrong with it. Kind of had a feeling what was going on with it when I seen the codes in the computer. Has the dash lit up like a Christmas tree. This is a subscriber here on the channel. He's been looking for somebody competent to work on his vehicle. You guys know I know these Fords. So there's a code in the computer for the fuel pump driver module. Customer already has his fuel pump driver module because he was, thinking with the recall on the fuel pump driver module on these, he probably should get one. And he got one, so I'm going to pop it in because it does look like it is the code for the recall. ABS codes in the rear, pull the wheels off, pull axles and everything out of it. Not axles, I pull the wheels and stuff off, pulled the assembly and stuff off, pulled it apart, and left it just the hub on the spindle, and the tone rings are split on the back. This vehicle, this Transit, the customer, he's actually wanting to sell it. He said he might be interested in selling it. It's only got 27,000 miles on it. It's got some really nice all-terrain BF Goodrich radial TAs, and it's in very, very, very good shape. There's like not a single thing wrong with this truck. Super low miles, 27,000. Tone rings in the back. I was able to price everything out to get the job done for about $740, $750, $720 to $750, somewhere in there. I asked him if I wanted to get a whole hub assembly for the rear with bearing and everything, like a loaded assembly to go on there, what would that cost? And he said, to the customer through the Ford dealer, you're looking at about $370 a piece, and they're on national back order. So good luck getting them, because we cannot put our hands on them right now. You're better off just getting the tone ring, cleaning up the wheel hubs that are already there, and then pressing them on to the assembly and just kind of packing some grease and stuff behind them to make sure it doesn't happen again. So that's the route we're going to go. Is we're going to put the fuel pump driver module on this Transit. We are going to put the new tone rings and stuff on tomorrow. 75, 85 rear fluid. The fluid has exponentially went up on this thing. I remember when you used to be able to get a quart of fluid for this, the rear end on these things, for like 17, 18 bucks to the customer. It's $37 a quart now through the local Ford dealer here that we go through to get a quart of fluid for this. Yep, it's pretty high. So I'll have some more content for you tomorrow on this Transit. Some of you have been asking for some more. Some of you business owners have been wanting some more Transit content, and I will have that for you. I will be showing you the install of the tone rings and stuff, and showing you exactly what it looks like tomorrow when that rust jacking gets behind those tone rings and causes them to snap. Oh look, there's my truck. No problems, no lights, no nothing. It's got 101,800 miles on it now. It runs like it's brand new. And yes, if you're wondering, does it have the Coyote in it and you're new here? Well, welcome. And it does have the Coyote in it. This here is a subscriber here on the channel, local. He brought this GMC Safari to me. Really good shape. All-wheel drive, everything works. We just put new seals and stuff in it. A lot of some small things that were leaking, we got everything sealed back up for him, so it's crystal clean underneath. It's been undercoated, and he said, I had the parking brakes worked on before, but for some reason they just don't work anymore. I don't know what's going on. Started pulling everything apart, checked the parking brakes, pulled this wheel off, pulled the drum off. Parking brake cable was not even in the actual emergency brake lever anymore. So I pulled the wheel completely apart, pulled the braking assembly completely apart. The little tab that the parking brake cable sits in, I was able to close it up and adjust it some, put the cable and stuff back in, get it all put back and adjusted exactly how it was supposed to be, and then went inside the vehicle, or had somebody else get inside the vehicle and let them go ahead and push the parking brake. They pushed the parking brake down, and I seen that the parking brake was actually applying. But while the parking brake cable was like actually pulling the assembly and applying up against you could feel it in the rotor, or in the drum as you were spinning it, all of a sudden a pile of rust fell straight down, and there was a weak spot in the cable where the metal sheathing that's shielded by the plastic, the brake cable assembly, or the parking brake cable assembly that goes across and then goes up the driver's side, and it's got that built-in nut assembly and stuff where that whole everything hooks into it. Well, this cable is the 103 something, 103, not 103, is it 103 inches long? 103 inches long, or 103 something long, or whatever the computer said. And it's got a bracket that goes down to the shock assembly, and then it goes over into that, and then it kind of spins around and goes past the side and hooks into the main parking brake cable and stuff, which goes up to the front. And I was able to find that cable for like 32 bucks. So I was able to pick that cable up. It's going to be ordered tomorrow, so I can replace the actual cable assembly from the brake shoe all the way around into the assembly up front, because there was a weak spot in it that you couldn't see. And when you went to go load it up, when you loaded that cable up, it pulled the brake, but it showed the weakness of that actual sheathing on that cable, and it just crunched it all up, and all kinds of rust dropped down on the ground from that location. And what's going on is, part of it is actually pulling the brake and applying the parking brake. Part of it's actually crunching that cable up from that weak spot, so you're not getting the full apply to the parking brake assembly. So not only was the cable out, which was probably a result of that weak area in the cable sheathing, the cable also needs to be replaced going back. So that will be done tomorrow. This is another subscriber's vehicle here. He dropped it off a couple months ago. He wanted the lead frame and everything done in the transmission. We did the lead frame in the transmission. I don't know if he realizes he still has his dash cam and stuff on. I think that's going to probably end up running down the battery. I don't know if it's supposed to turn off, but it didn't turn off. I ain't touching it. I'll have to ask and see if he wants it left on. We got to pull the lead frame back out of the transmission. We weren't able to get a Ford OE one. We ended up getting a Dorman one. It's lasted a few months. And what ended up happening in this truck is he was going down the highway at like highway speeds, and all of a sudden it acted like it wanted to neutral out and stuck in limp mode, third gear, and it just doesn't want to do anything now. And it's showing codes that are pertaining to the lead frame. So gonna have to pull lead frame back out of it and see if that's the case. Possible valve body issue. We'll have to see what's going on there. So that's next. What else do I got? This 09 C300, intermittent wipers don't work. Certain functions on your around your steering wheel and stuff just stop working and stuff like that, and just randomly just won't do what you need it to do. So we started doing some investigating and went to the front SAM module. I ordered one. The customer approved it. It's going to be an expensive repair because that front SAM module is very expensive for this thing. It sits up in the front driver's side corner up by the firewall. There's a bunch of connectors and stuff to go to it. It's a fuse box assembly. They have a front and they have a rear, and they're notorious for getting water intrusion and stuff in them. It's just wrecking the module. You would think with the new ones that come out and the ones that get refurbished and stuff like that, they would put provisions in to really stop it, but it doesn't quite stop it, right? So this is going to end up being a very expensive job. It's like an $1,120 module, and then it's like $350 to have a specialist come out and program it and stuff. I'm not sure if my computer will let me do it. I'm going to try. I don't know if it will, but this is another diag that kind of came out of left field. We weren't expecting to find it so easy, but we ended up finding it really quick. We haven't finished the repair yet, so that will be tomorrow that we can get the part for that. Let's see. I think that's all I got. And then you see my Crown Vic I just bought. I haven't done too much to that yet. I don't know what's going on with this thing yet. I think another dealer dropped this off here. There's a car dealer dropped it off, and they want us to look at it for them. Yep, that's all I got for tonight, guys. That's the update. Stuff going on the channel. We got more Fords and Chevys now than we've ever seen. Chevy Expresses, GMC Savannahs and stuff in, exhaust manifolds, all kinds of stuff going on right now. We got a lot of stuff going on in the shop right now. Thanks to you guys, really keeping us busy. I appreciate every bit of it. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me and supporting my business. And I hope we continue to grow together and I can provide this awesome service to you. And yeah, thank you. I appreciate you. Be blessed.